Nithyananda, 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 we welcome all the participants who have joined us for the Nithyananda Yoga today. Let us all now begin the Nithyananda Yoga with the Sadguru Vandana. Nithyanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadrisham Tattvamasyadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Now, let's chant the Mula Mantra, the Shiva Mula Mantra, 11 times. Om Ham Hom Shivaya Namaha. 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 The next is the Vajramana. I request all of you to please take the Uddarini and Panchpathana water. Take the Uddarini in your hands and Gokarna Mudra. As we chant the mantras, please pour one Uddarini of water in your palms and drink the water from the tip of your palm at each swada. Om Atmatattvam Shodhayami Svadha. Om Vidya Tattvam Shodhayami Svada. Om Shiva Tattvam Shodhayami Svada. Next, please wash your hands. With the base of your thumb, move from the right side to the left side of your lips 2 times. And wash your hands. Next, with your index, middle finger, touch the upper lips and lower lips and wash your hands again. Next, with the index finger and thumb finger, touch the right lips and nose, the left side, and with your ring finger and thumb tips, touch the right eye, left eye, right eye ear, and left ear, and wash your hands. Now, with the base of your finger and thumb, touch your center, chest, left chest. At the tip of all your fingers, touch the Sahasrara chakra at the top of your head. Right shoulder, left shoulder, and heart still. Now, is the end Sankara. Please hold your in the Sankalpa Mudra. Om Namo Pasamaste Duritakshaya Dvara Shri Nithyananda Paramamashivam Shri Nithyananda Paramashiva Shakti श्री नित्यानंदेश्वर शुभे शोभने होते आद्य ब्रह्मणः द्वितीय परार्धे श्री श्वेतवराहकल्पे वैवस्वतन्वन्तरे अष्टाविंशतितमे नित्ययुगे प्रथमे पारे तपोद्वीपे भारतवर्षे भरतखण्डे एवं दक्षिणे पार्श्वे शकाब्दे अस्मिन् वर्तमाने व्यवहारिके प्रभवादीनां षष्ट्याः संवत्सराणां मध्ये विलम्बना संवत्सरे दक्षिणायने तृतीयां शुभतिथौ तिकमासे कृष्णपक्षे तृतीयां शुभतिथौ सोमवासरयुक्तायां मृगशीर्ष नक्षत्र सिद्धयोग पुष्टिकरण एवं गुणविशेष विशिष्टायाम् अस्यां शुभतिथौ श्री कैलासोन्नतद्वादशान्त श्यामला पीठारूढ श्री मीनाक्षी सरेश्वरानंद स्वरूप परशिवपुत्र रत्नकुमार गुरुमन्यतुल्यावतार श्री पार्वती स्तन्यपानलब्ध दिव्यज्ञ विश्रुत सकल निगमागम सारभूत द्राविड वेद प्रवक्त्रे श्रीमत्परमशिव करुणा समतिगत मुक्ताय चतुरश्रया नगीयमात्र चामर श्री चिन्ह काहल समस्त बिरदावल्यनक ज्ञान विज्ञान चक्रवर्ती सर्वजन संग सत्यो निर्वाण दीक्षा व्ययापवर्गवश विश्रानजीमूत परमद कलभ केसरी शैधांत स्थापनाचार्य श्री राजा पांड्य महाराज गुरु शबन शाक्य महांतकार निवारण ज्ञान भानु वीक्षणा निर्धार ध्वजोच्छेदर्वक श्रीमद् वृषभध्वज स्थापक शैव समय कर्तृ सर्वज्ञ पीठारूढ़ श्री जगद्गुरु श्री ज्ञान संबंध देशिक स्वामी वागीश सुंदर माणिक्य वाचक स्वामी अवतार भूत ज्ञान संबंध स्वामी पुनरुद्र श्यामला पीठ महाज्ञ पीठ धनमद्युत्तर द्विशततम गुरु महासन्निधान हरदगिरि योगीश्वर परंपरागत अरुणा सर्वज्ञ पीठ गुरु महासन्निधान कैलास परंपरागत कांची कैलाश सर्वज्ञ पीठ त्रयोत्रिंशदुत्तर द्विशततम गुरु महासन्निधान नित्योऽव नित्यमंगल नित्यक्रिया नित्यरचित कैलास परंपरागत आदिलास नित्यानंद पीठ संस्थान सिंहासन पीठ कर्तृ साक्षात् श्री परमशिव समुद्भूत कैलास परंपरागत वैवस्वतमनिक्ष्वाकु हरिन्द्र भगीरथ श्रीरामचंद्र शूरसेन इत्यादि अवच्छिन्न सार्वभौम चक्रवर्ती परंपरागत चतुष्षष्टि योगिनी वंदित चतुष्षष्टि संप्रदाय प्रवर्तक मनुधर्मशन सूर्यवंश प्राप्त सर्वज्ञ पीठ सुरांगी साम्राज्य मूढ़ाभिचूडामणि साक्षात् श्री परमशिव समुद्भूत सकल महागुरु पुनरुद्धृत महानिर्वाण पीठ अष्टोत्तर सहस्री महादलेश्वर साक्षात् श्री परमशिव समुद्भूत श्री महागणपति समारंभ अनवत पीठाधीश्वर गुरु परंपरा प्राप्त अटल पीठ अष्टोत्तर सहस्र नव अष्टोत्तर सहस्र श्री अटलाधीश्वर धर्म मुक्ति पुरस्वरित त्रयोविंश गुरु महानिदान कैलास परंपरागत आदिपीठ सर्वज्ञ पीठ जगद्गुरु श्री कैलास पुनरुद्धार श्री कैलास परमाचार्य श्रीमद् परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य वर्य सच्चिदानंद प्रस्वरूप श्रोत्रिय ब्रह्मनिष्ठ श्रीमद् जगद्गुरु श्री
भगवत् श्री नित्यानंद परमशिव श्री ज्ञान संबंध देशिक परमाचार्य स्वामिनां तीर्थं तेषां पादारविन्दयोः भक्ति सिद्ध्यर्थं गुरुकृपा कटाक्ष सिद्ध्यर्थं क्षेम वीर वीर विजयायुरारोग्य ऐश्वर्याणाम् अभिवृद्ध्यर्थं धर्मार्थ काम मोक्ष चतुर्विध पुरुषार्थ सिद्ध्यर्थं तमस्वितोपशान्त्यर्थं समस्त मंगलावाप्त्यर्थं भगवत् श्री नित्यानंद परम प्रसादे पूर्ण आरोग्य धृतगात्र यौगिक शरीर सिद्ध्यर्थं परमशिव शक्ति आविष्करणार्थं नित्यानंद योगासनं करिष्ये.
Now, let us all enter into the yoga. Let us start with an entry into the 12 components of the Nithyananda Yoga. I request all of you to please wash your hands.
Om Apaupasprisha.
The speciality of Nithyananda Yoga are the 12 components of the Nithyananda Yoga, which the first one, asana itself. The asana allows the body to come to a balance of a restful awareness, sattva, but one can easily enter deeper and more subtle lines of yoga. The second component of the Nithyananda Yoga is the pranayama, which is the breathing process. The pranayama refers to the breathing process, as the air you breathe is just a vehicle in which the body, the life energy comes and goes out of your body. The third component, mudra, and the mudra in Sanskrit, the word means seal, refers to positioning of the limbs, the fingers, or even the tongue in a way to seal the prana into our body. The fourth component is the bandha. Bandha is the awakening of the Kundalini Shakti, and in Sanskrit is a Sanskrit term that means conducive to. And without the bandhas, the energy tend to leak out, tend to be blocked or dissipated. The next component of the Nithyananda Yoga is the Karana. The Karanas, Shastra, describe the combined movements of the hand feet, and performing the Karanas puts you into a state of awareness. The sixth component of the Nithyananda Yoga is the visualization. In the science of yoga, the context and intentions are everything. Why you bend your body matters. And for whatever intention you move the body, that experience will be delivered to you. That is why in the Nithyananda Yoga, we maintain the space of the yoga, the ritual, and we keep the visualization. The next component is the japa. The japa, internal chanting of the mantra with visualization of it rotates down the throat in a circle, allowing the yogi to feel the mild vibration of that mantra. And the different japas that we will do during the yoga is Soham, Shivoham, Sadashivoham, Mahasadashivoham, Om Nithyanandoham, Om Nitya Mahasadashivoham, Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. The next component is the chant for pramanas. The mantras in Sanskrit, the Sanskrit utterance in a syllable or a single word or a group of words, a mantra, which has the spiritual power, and a disciple needs to be initiated into a mantra by his guru. And mantras are used in the yoga, the practice of the asanas. The next component is the Veds. Long before the rise of modern day body methods in the Vedic civilization, Veds were applied to the body as a method to raise the Kundalini, and so the Veds are used. The next component is the mandala. Mandala is a representation of the cosmos, and the human body is analysis of the cosmos itself. And so we use the mandala yantra during the yoga. The next component is the abharana. In the Vedic lifestyle, the abharana or the jewelry is not only worn for decorative purposes but also has significance. And during the yoga, the Nithyananda Yoga, the Rudraksha jewel is the traditional abharana worn by Paramashiva. The next component is the Aushadha. Aushadha is the alchemy science. And from the ancient Siddha tradition, this originates, and it comes the sacred herbs, and most importantly, the Shaktipada, the entanglement energy of Shiva, comes from the Aushadha. We will be doing 4 bandhas during the Nithyananda Yoga, which is the Mula Bandha, where you seal the perineal floor, tensing the area between the anus and the juice. Then the Uddiyana Bandha, sucking the stomach inwards and then up, along with the Mula Bandha, done before or after exhalation. Then the Jalandhara Bandha, which is tucking the chin down, pressing it against the chest, creating a lock at the throat center. And the bandha is the Mudra Bandha, tucking the chin down and pressing it against the chest, creating a lock at the throat center. The Mahamudra is the all bandhas put together. And the different, we will also be having different games throughout the yoga in different asanas, which you will be guided through during the asana. The pranayamas or the kaas that we will be is the samana kumbhaka, where we are deeply visualizing heat flame raising up along the spine to the navel and then holding it. Then the ujjayi kumbhaka, sheetkari kumbhaka, recha kumbhaka, utkarsa kumbhaka, sahaja kumbhaka, and prathama kumbhaka, and also the jiva kumbhaka, and a few more. We will elaborate as we do the asana. Let us all now get into the Nithyananda Yoga by beginning with the first asana, the Sukha. The first asana is the Sukhasana. Pranayama for this is the Samana Kumbha. And you can hold the Bindu Mudra, chant the Pramanas. The first asana is the Sukha. Please sit in a comfortable cross-leg position with your head, neck, and in a straight line. Bring the index thumbs together and place on top of the respective knees and engage all the three bandhas. तत्सुखासनमित्युक्तम् अशक्तत्सत्समाचरे आसनं विजितं येन जितं न जगत्त्रयम्. The next, the Parvatasana. Bring the legs into Padmasana. Bring the palms together and raise them above the head. Keep elbows straight. Keep your elbows straight. And engage all the three bandhas. अथ वक्ष्ये महादेव पर्वतासनमङ्गलं यत्कृत्वा स्थिररूपी स्यात् सचक्रादिविलोपनम्. The next is the Hali Pavasana. Bring the soles of the feet together in prayer. Hold the left hand by the right and place the forehead on the ground behind the heels. And engage in all siddhas and gaze to the nose. With the mudra, Vidana mudra behind your back. पूर्वाविद्याने जानो उभे सम्पुटटानो पिष्टिपचेदो कर्ल्यावो दक्षिणकरसो वामगहावो पिष्टिहतेर्यां कीहे जोई अंशुसहित भूमिधरसोई पुनिललाटि भूपने यां लामाहियाने. The next is Nahi Pavasana. Keep the soles of the feet together and forehead to the behind the heels. Stretch your out in front of the feet and cup the palms, making a hollow. Engage all the three bandhas and gaze to the nose. Vidipariyaga nicho hoi kalahu nipanas स्योई हाथा गानी दरति लगावे पसारो हाथ की अंजूली करे भूयदि परि लगावे दृष्टि नासाग्र आसन कौगुन शरीर विदा जाई. The next is Kokilasana. Hold the big toes with the index and middle fingers. Stretch legs out and upwards, then cross into Padmasana. Lean forward and into elbows and engage in all the angles. अतान्यदासनं वक्ष्ये येन सिद्धो भवे नरः अकस्मात् वायुसारं कोकिलाख्यासनेन च द्वे हस्तद्वयत्वा तदग्रे पादयोसुधि वृद्धारद्वयं नातने शनैः प्रकारयेत्. The next is the Nithyananda. Place one arm on top of the opposite and the opposite elbows. And in all three bandhas, rotate arms in a circle and gaze to the nose. गोडाम्बा पादकीय आशमाहिलीसो यदचित्करणको वारिपरिकुल्पसमः वामपादको माहिलौ बहुरो गुल्पजुजान परिगोडादचिकीयं शवारिलीठान बहुरी भुजदो करकीजो कहून्या प्रकारोसो पसार्य धर करिले नासा दृष्टि वचन नहीं भाषे दो हाथ सो आडे वाई मटाई पुजे मटान की नाई सकल पवन मट्यो जावे सोपनी नीति नाम कहावे. The next is Gajasana. Press the hands onto the ground, slowly lifting the hips up high. Lower head, then chest, scooping the body forward and again and again. Nijjam padagre bhumo kritva लम्भिभूय मस्तकाग्रे निधाय नितम्भं मूत्रमय्या नाभिलक्ष्यं भूमौ नासिकामानि हस्ततल पर्यन्तं नयेत् नित्यं पुनः पुनः कुर्यात् गजासनं भवति. The next is Shasana. Keep the hands pressed onto the ground and hips up high. Alternate pressing the heels of one foot into the ground while lifting the other heel up. Repeat again and again. Ekaikam padama punchya gajasanam kuryat rikshasanam bhavati. The next is Vaishyasana. Stand tall on the hips of the big with all other toes raised off the ground. Keep neck and spine in a straight line and bring the index and ring finger to the heart center. In Hridayam. Keshena padayugalam Bhagva tishkedado mukaha atava ishyavakshye yakritva satyavan bhavet. The next is the Urva Jhanu Karana. Stand with the heels touching and the toes outwards at 45-degree angle. Keep your knees bent and both the hands at the chest, elbows parallel to the ground. Twist one knee towards the center. Then raise it up and back across the body to the original position. Simultaneously, as leg raises, follow the movement with the respective hand, raising it up and across the body. Repeat it on the other side. Next is the Balalinga. Interlace the fingers from side in and hold to the knee, pulling it upwards towards the chest. Please hold your hands in the Sarva Shankari Mudra. Keep your spine straight and engage all the three bandhas. Continuing to chant the japa soham. Ekam jano shiyalingya Satavyam balaling bhavati. The next is Padmasana. Take one foot and pull it behind towards us, holding it with both your hands in Shambhavi Mudra. Keep your head, neck, and spine in a straight line and engage in all the bandhas. Sthitvaikasmin padatale karabhyam Yetanam Trishtis Samstapya Nipadapitanamasana. The next is Natarajasana. With the respective hands, hold on to the sole of the foot from the inside. Extend the opposite hand forward with the index and thumb finger together in the mudra. Simultaneously and pull the back end up while leaning forward. Utanapadam chancha marichim veerabhadrakam natarajam trigonam cha suttangushta prasarane. The next, we will be repeating the same on the other side with Balalingasana. Interlace the fist from outside in, and hold the knee in Sarva Shankari Mudra, pulling it upwards towards the chest. Keep the spine straight and engage in all the three bandhas. Ekam janurasya lingatavyam balalinganam bhavati. The next is Pidanasana. Take one foot and pull it behind towards the buttocks, holding it with both your hands, Shambhavi Mudra. Keep the head, neck in a straight line and engage three bandhas. Sthitvaikam padatale karabhyam veshtayetanam prishte samstapya yatnena padanamasanam. Next is Natarajasana. With the respective hands holding on to the sole of the foot from the inside, extend the opposite hand forward, index and thumb together in the Bindu Mudra. Simultaneously kick and pull the foot and up while leaning front. Uttanapadam chancha marirabhadrakam natarajam trikonancha suttangushta prasarane. The next is the Ardhita Karna. From the Aramandi position, with your heels together, toes pointing outward and your knees bent. Bring the right behind the other. With the toes down, heels up. Keep the left hand at the chest and extend the arm out wide and like a pendulum bring it back towards the chest in the Karihasta. while the arm swings fingers one by one inwards and outwards, the palm and then outwards, the little finger and then the ring finger, middle finger, and so on. Now, uncross the hands and repeat this on the other side. The next is the skeleton dance. Visualize yourself skeleton and kick the body intensely. Feel yourself as a skeleton. The next, the Kati Chinnakarna from Aramandi, with your heels together, toes pointing outwards and knees bent. Bring your hands above the head with arms crossed and palms facing backwards. Move the hips to one side and simultaneously cross the arms wide above the head. Now come back to the beginning and repeat on the other side. The next is the Tadasana. Stand tall on the tips of the toes. Raise your hands up of the head beside the ears and engage in all three. Mahamudra Badra Kono Tanavi Vedakan Vinotanam Slakurya Tat Vadani Priya. The next is Uttana. From the standing position, kneel forward and down, bringing the hands flat on the ground. And engage in all the three bandhas and bring forehead towards the knees. Mahamudra Badra Kono Tadasana Vivedakan Vinotanam Sada Kuryad Tavati Padipadiya. The next is Shavasana. Hands flat on the ground, shoulders width apart, and step the feet back, keeping the toes on the ground. Tuck the chin to the chest in the Jalandhara Bandha and rotate the head from side to side. Vajravashidva mastakam varam varam dakshina pukshim savya pukshim naye tarakshvasanam bhavati. The next, Bhujangasana. Lower the entire body down to the stomach and keep toes pointed backwards. Keep the hands next to the chest and raise the hands up using the strength of your back. No higher belly button off the mat. Now mouth wide and inhale through the hollow throat in the Bhujangani Mudra. Gushtanabhiparyantam Adho bhumau vinyaset karabhyam chadaram vritva udrashishak panibahi deharatate nityam sroga vinashanam jati bhujagi devi gasana sadhanat. The next is Sashasana. From the tall plank position on the hands and feet, alternate bringing knee in towards back and forth. Gajasana samsitau janudvayam akunchya varam varam kartavyam shashasanam bhavati. The next is Ratasana. From the tall plank position, place the foot in between the two hands and simultaneously jump one back and bring it in between the two hands, alternating again and again. Gajasana samstito ekaikam padam margyena brahmayitva kartavyam ratasanam bhavati. The next is Virabhadrasana. Keep one foot flat on the toes pointing forward and the knee bent at a 90-degree angle. Extend the other leg back, keeping the knee straight and toes pointed out at a 45-degree angle. Raise the arms up parallel beside the ears. Pull the stomach in and up and gaze to the third eye. Vashish. उत्तादं क्रौञ्चं च मरीचिं वीरभद्रकं नटराजं त्रिकोणं च सुप्ताप्रसारणे. The next is the other side of Virabhadrasana. उत्तानपादं क्रौञ्चं च मरीचिं वीरभद्रकं नटराजं त्रिकोणं च सुप्ताङ्गुष्ठप्रसारणे. The next is Vrikshasana. Stand tall and bring one foot to the inner thigh. Bring your palms together and raise them above the head, keeping the elbow. Pull the skin and up and gaze forward. Keep your hands in the Anjali Mudra. वामोरमूलदेचयाम्यं पादं निधायतु तिष्ठेतु वृक्षवद्भो वृक्षासनमिदं विदुः. The next is Garudasana. Stand tall and place one foot at the opposite hip. Bring palms together in front of the heart and Anjali Mudra and the Namaskara Mudra. And keep the standing leg straight as a rod. गरुडासनमावक्ष्येति येन ध्यानं स्थवेत् सर्वदोषद्विनिर्मुक्तो भवति महाबली. एकपादमुरो बद्ध्वा एकपादेन दण्डवत् जनागपाद सन्धिदेशे जानव्यग्रं व्यवस्थितम्. एतदासनमाकृत्य पृष्ठे संहारमुद्रया आराध्य योगनाथं च सदा सर्वेश्वरस्य च. The next is Shasana. Next is Vritsana on the other side. Stand tall and bring one foot to the inner thigh. Bring your palms together and raise them up above the head, keeping the elbows straight, and pull the stomach in and gaze forward. वामोरमूलदेशे च याम्यं पादं निरायतु तिष्ठेतु वृक्षवद्भूमौ वृक्षासनमिदं विदुः. The next is Garudasana. Stand tall and place one foot at the opposite hip, bringing the palms in front of the heart. Keep the standing leg straight as a rod. Garudama vakshe yanam stiram bhavet sadoshadvinirmukto bhavati bhavata mahabali. Ekapadamuro badhva ekapadena date जनागपादसदेशे जानव्यग्रं व्यवस्थितम्. एतदासनमाकृत्य पृष्ठे संहारमुद्रया आराध्य योगं च सदा सर्वेश्वरस्य च. The next is Trikonasana. Stand and step one leg far back, keeping the front toes pointing forward and back toes facing sideways. Keep your arms straight and bring arms down towards the ground beside the foot. while the arm extends towards the sky. Uttanapadam Krauncha Marichim Veerabhadra Natarajam Trikonancha Suptang Pranet. The next is Trikonasana on the other side. Stand and step one leg far back, the front toes point towards the back toes sideways. Keep arms straight and bring front the arm towards the ground beside the foot, while the other arm extends towards the sky. Uttanapadam Krauncha Marichim Veerabhadrakam Natatrikonam Cha Suptangushta Prasarane. The next is the Nikutakam. Having stood on the forepart of the foot, the heel is made to fall on the ground. Lift one foot from one by one, the heel hip, and tap the foot down. With your hands alternating. The next is Angushtasana. Lower onto the hips of the toes, the perineum on the heels. Keep the knees and the palms together and your hands in the Namaskara Mudra in front of your heart. Kabandha asana vidyahu gorasana mevacha ashtamushtikam nyeyam brahmaprasaditam tata. The next is the Saurasana. From the tips of toes and one leg straight down and toes up. Keep the fingers down on the ground and by the sides with your palms facing forward in the Varamudra. Prasaryayikam palam samstapya tvekadakam. The next is Viduranasana. From sitting on the toes, extend one leg out straight with the heel down and toes up with the respective hands. Reach forward and holding on to the big with the index and middle fingers in the Prana Mudra. Keep the opposite hand on the back heel. Gulpastitau padamekam prasarya tatpadagram samsprishe tatkarena chanyam dharayetena dunam pidam chapyase chobayata. The next is Saurasana on the other side. The tips of the toes extend straight out, down and toes up. Keep the fingers down on the ground by the sides, palms facing forward in the Varamudra. Prasaryayikam padatalam samstapya tvekapadakam. The next is the Viduranasana. From sitting on the toes, extend one leg out straight with the heels down and toes up with rest hands, reaching forward and hold on to the big toes with the index and fingers. Keep opposite hands on the back heel. Gulpastitau padamekam prasarya tatpadagram samsprishe tatkarena gulpam chanyam dharaya tatkarena dunam pidapyase chobayatra. The next is the Manchurankushasana. Keeping the toes on the ground, place the perineum on the top of the heels. Keep between the legs and the back of the hands rest sides. Tilt your head down and gaze through the gap between the palms. Do parami hoya vese jo edi do huro niva vaise ora pagatalya ki mahili asena se mili do goda age ane sudo kari ucha letane हाथ दो ऊपर तरे उबे हथेली सुधी करे गोड़ माड़ी दृष्टि को करे ऐसे पंक्ति ध्यान को धरे समग्रीव समराशेकाय सुरको गहियाकर्षेवाय इति आसन जबलग रहे जबलग श्रम अति होय जोर हो ताने मा विजय करना नाशे सोल. The next is Kapilasana. Place the knees on the ground with the toes tucked behind, sitting with the perineum down on the heels. Rest the hand up to the thigh and pull the stomach in and up and gaze to the nose. Ube pagatali sama taharawe tinako mahili kor milave panapane panapan ukrohoyave edido jo se gordo ubu milagave samasharirani ke rave hasdo ugoda parirashe nashtiya chilaka vidashe ya asana ke ye te आचुहोय अपान विरजातं वदेहे सत् कबाहुं न पावे जाना. The next is Bhadragosana. Place the knees on the toes tucked behind, sitting with the perineum down on the heels. Rest the hands on the tops of the thighs and gaze to the third eye. And place the hands in the Shambhu Mudra. Do pagadali samputakare varli bhupari dare korvarli raise tapari mooladwari kibese. The next is Suryasana. Sit with the toes tucked and the perineum placed on the top of the raised heels. Knees off the ground. Bring the thumbs and the little finger together, opening up the palms, resembling a lotus flower, the Padma Mudra. Raise the arms straight up above the head and gaze to the fold between the palms. Edi do god tariyane panapani betakapu nitane goda jangal adhara kare ade bama isi vidhi kahe. The next is the Madhasana. Sit with the toes flat and perineum on the heels. Keep the hands top of the knee and lift the tongue up against the roof of the mouth. Catch the nectar of immortality dripping from the Sahasrara with your frog tongue. Padatalo Prishdeshe Angushte Samre Januyupam Purate Sadayat Asanam. The next is Nandukasana. Put the toes flat on the heels. Keep the hands in the back, hold head with the elbows. Sit and lift up against the roof of the mouth. Pull the stomach in and up. Catch the nectar of immortality dripping from the Sahasrara chakra with your thumb. Manduka asana madhyastam utparabhyam tam shirava shira etad bhekavaduttanam etaduttana mandukam. The next is the Simhasana. Cross the ankles and sit on the feet, keeping the ankles wide. Fingers spread on top, open wide. Stick out the tongue, sail forcefully. Gaze at the tip of the mouth and repeat this several times. Dakshina Savya Gulpena Dakshinata Tekaram Hasto Jajanu Samstapya Swangulishta Prasarya Cha. The next is Bhadrasana. On the heels under the perineum and keep the knees wide. Cross the hands behind the back and hold those. Apply the Jalandhara Bandha and gaze to the nose. Hold your toes in the back with the Prana Mudra. Gulpau cha Vrishanasya Yutramena Samahitaha Padangushto Karabhyam cha Dritva cha Prishtai Deshataha. The next is Kakabasandhyasana. Squat and keep the feet flat on the ground and then open wide. Bring the arms in and around and interlace the fingers behind in the Parashu Mudra. Gaze to the nose. Pratami Vaisikorakata Ohati Pagam Yane Dino Modi Nalyam Parilyave Pishtipachekan Shikarave. The next is Kanipavasana. The palms on the floor, shoulder apart. Bring the knees on the back of the arms towards the arms. Lean the chin forward and gaze ahead. Asana kaugana ashi dushita hoi to hoi. The next is Kapalyasana. Place the head on the ground, shoulder width apart. Bring the top of the head on the ground, forming an angle between hands and head. Bring the knees onto the elbows, hips over the shoulder, and straighten the legs up. Gaze to the nose. Shisha Shisha Deki Pagado Miniva Ucha Kudanitali Akasha Dishi Sunamusira Shevat Ki Hateli Do Pashatya Darti Eko Vinyasa Akra.
Nithyananda.
The next is the Parshavasana. Squat on the toes with the legs together. Twist the body and place hands on one side, elbows with the knees and hips. Lean onto the arms and balance, extending the legs to the side and gaze straight. Mayuram dandavat kuryat dan Mayuram dandan namakam kuryat mayurapashvam. Next is Parshamayurasana on the other side. उदारमि पश्चिमाभासं कृत्वा तिष्ठति यत् नत नम्राङ्गं वामपादं दक्षिणजानुपरि न्यसेत्. इसकी बात. Place one foot on top of the opposite thigh and place the opposite foot on the ground on the far side of the opposite thigh. And twist and bring the elbow outside of the raised knee and extend hand down to the keeping the opposite hand at respective ear. Turn the head back and gaze to the third eye. Asana Kaugana Jolo Jai. The next is Matsyendrasana 2 on the other side. Place one foot on top of the opposite thigh and place the opposite foot on the ground on the far side of the opposite thigh. Twist and bring the elbow out the base knee and extend the hand down to the foot, keeping the opposite hand on behind and turn the head back and gaze at the third eye. Matsyendra Pitam Jatara Pradeep Chandal Mandala Kandanaslam Abhyashada Kuni Prabodham Dandasmita Radhikam Sam. The next is Matsyendrasana repeated on the other side. Place the one foot on the opposite side and the opposite foot on the ground on the far side opposite side. And twist and bring the elbow outside of the raised knee and keep the raised arm by the neck. Bend the head back and gaze to the third eye. उदरसीमाभासं कृत्वा तिष्ठति यत्नतः नम्राङ्गं वामपादं हि दक्षिणजानुपरिन्यसेत्. The next is Kubasana on the other side. Asana Kaugana Jolo Jai. Next is Matsyendra on the other side. Matsyendra Pitam Jatara Pradiptim Prachandala Kandanasram Yashata Kundalini Prabodham Dandastadati Pumsam. The next is Padma. Sit and place the feet on the top of the opposite thighs. Place the palms on the respective knees and engage all the three bandhas. Asanam Dvidam Proktam Padmam Vajrasanam Tata Urdhva Rupari Chedate Ubepadatale Yata Padmasanam Bhavete Tat Sarvapapa Pranashanam. The next is Padmasana. Sit and place the feet on the top of the opposite thighs and cross the arms and hold on with the index and middle fingers, gazing at उत्थानौ चरणौ कृत्वा ऊरुसंस्था प्रयत्नतः ऊरुमध्ये तदोत्थानौ कृत्वा तु तादृशो नासाग्रे न्यस्य दृष्टिं दन्तं च जिह्वया उत्तोल्य चिबुके उत्थाप्य पवनं शनैः. The next is Kukutasana. Sit and place the feet on top of the opposite thighs. Place the palms on the ground between the two thighs and lift the body up. Padmasanam susamstapya nanurvorantare karau nidesha bhumashishte mastat kukutasanaha. The next is Bhagyasana. Sit and place the feet on the top of the thighs. Up onto the knees and place the palms in the ground, fingers pointing towards the perineum. Keep the elbows together and press against the knee. Then lean forward, find balance, and extend knees up off the ground. Dharamavastakaradyena tatri स्थापितनाभिपा Sarasavya Chasano Danda Vadut the प्रतिपीठं मयूरं पद्मकं कुर्यात् बद्धकेकी विकथ्यते. The next is Mayurasana. While on the knees, place the palms on the fingers pointing towards the ear. Keep the elbows together and press against the knees and lean forward. Find balance and extend the legs up off the ground. अथ वक्ष्ये महादेव मयूरासनमुत्तमं भूमौ हस्तौ द्वौ पूर्वरोपरि देहकं पूर्वरोपरि संस्थाप्य सर्वदेहं स्थिराश्रयः केवलं हस्तयुगलं निपात्य भुवि सुस्थिरः. The next is Makarasana. Lay down on the stomach with the feet pointing outwards and the forehead on the mat, and place your fingers behind the neck and hold your hands in the Parashamudra. अद्यास्य शेते हृदयं निधाय भूमादौ च प्रसार्यमाणौ शिरश्च कृत्वा करदण्डयुग्मे देहाग्निकार्यं मकरासनं तत्. The next is Shalabhasana. Lay down on the mat and place the hands in the ground beside the chest. Raise the legs up and rise off the ground. Adhyasya shete karayugmavaksho भूमिमपस्तभ्य करलोस्तलाभ्यां पादौ च शून्ये च वितस्तिच्छोर्ध्वं वदन्ति पीठं शलभं मुनीन्द्र. The next is Ushtrasana. Lay down on the stomach and bring the hands to the feet, pulling the feet down toward the ground outside of you. Adhyasya shete padayugmavaksh पृष्ठे निधायापि धृतं कराभ्याम् आकुञ्चयेत् सम्यगुदरास्य गाढमुष्टनितं योगिनो वदन्ति. The next is Dhanurasana. Lay down on the stomach and bring the hands to the feet and kick the legs back and simultaneously pull the feet towards the sky. Lift the chest often and raise the head up, facing to the third eye. प्रसार्य पादौ भूमरूपौ करौ चेदितपादयुग्मं कृत्वा धनुस्थिर्य विवर्तिताङ्गं निगद्य योगी धनुरासनं तके. The next is Bhagasana. From both the knees with the head, neck and spine in a straight line. Place the palm on the top of the knees, thighs and gaze to the third eye. उल्टा मोड़ी पावदो वैसे बहुरो जुगती करे कवैसे पाहि लोग जुहोई कुला पाशतीला वैसो. The next is Gohyasana. From your knees, place forearms on the ground, fingers interlocked, elbows shoulder apart. Place the top of the head on the ground, holding back of the head with the hands, and walk your forward until the hips align with the shoulders. And lift the feet up, knees bent together against the chest and touching the chin, and gaze at the nose. दो हाथ की कहोनी जोई पुनिह कले जाने दृष्टि अंगुर की पनो ईसविले परटानो. The next is Shivasasana. From Gohyasana, lift the knees, the legs up, place the forearms to the ground, and from lift your legs, straightening them back, lift the feet up, and stack the hips on top of the shoulders, knees on top of the hips, and ankles on top of the knees. Gaze at the nose. विपरमण्डलं च द्विदैव वित्तं हिनः दण्डासनं प्रोक्तं विपरीतोपवेशनः सर्वाङ्गशीर्षभागस्तु सक्षस्थितास्थिते. The next is Phodyasana. Sit with the hands behind the calves and stretch the legs up, bringing the forehead to the knees and come to a vertical position with the legs. दो हाथ पग बाहरियाने गोड़ा तरीकांक शीठाने अंगुष्ठ पिंडली लहरे चरणों बे आकाश दिशी करे पिष्टि सकुल धरती लावे उदर संकोच ऊर्ध्व ठहरावे गोड़ा शीश बीत भान करे इह विधि पोरिया नधरे. The next is Parigasana. Sit and extend the legs out up at 45 degrees and bring the hands behind and hold the opposite shoulders, keeping the chest upright, legs straight and toes point. Hold the breath, gaze to the third eye. उत्तानं शयनं कृत्वा पादौ मिलित्वा प्रसार्य नितम्बं भूमौ स्पृष्ट्य हस्ताभ्यां कन्धराबद्ध्वा कुम्भकं कृत्वा चेष्टेत् परिगासनं भवति. The next is Naukasana. Sit and extend the legs out at up to 45-degree angle and bring the elbows down on the ground beside the hips. Keep the chest upright, legs straight and the toes pointed. Anam shayanam kurhyambu mimavastabhyastau nitambam nidaya puru janga padam dandavaddarayet naukasanam bhavati. The next is Vinyasa. Sit and lift the feet up, scooping the hands under the heels and pull the feet towards the chest, keeping the spine upright and gazing at the nose. Pagatali samputakare hatasyo chai pakkakangushudole parlikani talave pache do hata pagamahe kari niche ani. The next is Unmukha Pidasana 2. Lay down on the back with the feet flat on the ground. Place the palms and the fingers touching the back of the face and lift the hips high, pressing the feet onto the ground, chin tucked and the chest and gaze the nose. Udvejdi kritva sarvipurvamukam tat uttapya hasto tishte unmukanamake. This is Shavasana. Now please lay down on the back, the palms facing upwards, completely unclenched from any micro movements of the body and the mind. Let the body remain dead. Ata Shavasanam Uttanam Shavavadumau Shayanam tu Shavasanam Shavam Shanti Haram Chitta Vishranti Karakam. Now slowly start moving the fingers and the toes and you can turn to the right and the left. And we all have now completed successfully the Prathama Vinyasa Krama of the Nithyananda Yoga. And we thank each and every one of you for joining us in the yoga today. Let us all now, from the space of gratitude, conclude with the Purna Mantra. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudade Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Hari Om Tat Sarvam Vat Shri Nithyananda Paramashiva Paduka Mastu. Om Nithyanandam.